Downtown New Bedford with views from Fort Phoenix to Fort Myers. Welcome to the Paul Santos Show, where we meet the interesting and talented from the area. Yes, we try to have a little fun here and there. We have music. We also tackle some serious topics, too. We have a great show tonight. In the wings, it is Z Suarez from Seven Hills. She's going to be talking about substance use disorder, a very serious subject and a very good subject that we should tackle. We also have our musical guests. Yes, they're waiting in the wings from the NB Rude Boys. It's Sean Fitzgerald and Rick Rude. And guitarist Chris Waters, that's what I'm talking about. From Funk Side Up, Director Josh is over there. And how about this guy right here? Sidekick extraordinaire and 49er fan freak. Mr. Chops Turner. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, there he is with that stupid San Francisco 49ers thing again. I can't wait till the Super Bowl is over. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. All right, we're going to tackle some news over here. You know, Chops, they're looking for a driver for the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Can you imagine that? A driver for this thing. There it is right there. Take a look at that thing. That's a foot long right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, wait a minute.
Looks edible, too.
I don't think that's a wiener. I think that's a giant shitties. How would you like to get a ride on that, baby? Look, I'm backing up. Beep, 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 beep. Anyway, you know, I have an idea, right? Seriously, you and me, Chops, right? We should sign up and drive that car for a year. And then in the summertime when the feast is going on, we'll drive down Madera Avenue. You're the driver. I'll be in the passenger seat. And I'll have a megaphone that'll go like this. Hey, get your shitties here. Hey, get your shitties here. Hey, get your shitties here.
That'll go well.
I think we can sell a lot of shitties.
Oh, yeah, we sure would.
I'll ride shotgun. You'll be able to drive. Well, anyway, if you are sick or have the flu, and I know it's been kind of a tough flu season, you really should stay home.
That's right.
If you go in, the boss is not going to be happy. You're not going to get a raise. So going in doesn't really work. But, you know, you can get a visiting nurse, like the Rude Boys. They had that one time. I heard there's a good one in the area. A Portuguese woman who brings medicine. Her name is Anesthesia. And she comes in. She'll take your temperature. She's going to bring her own thermometer. And she'll even give you a good tuck-in right before you go to bed. You know, get a little
get a little tuck-in.
Gotta have a nice tuck-in right before bed. Are the guests still here? The sponsors are still with us? All right. Well, anyway, did you realize, Chops, that you're learning a lot tonight.
Oh, yeah, sure am.
Massachusetts is #1 in potholes in the United States. Imagine that. I think that's true. You know, when I think it comes to potholes, we're getting a royal pavement pounding. I mean, we really got to spend more money on this. Detour, we're going to get up the asphalt. You know, I mean, we really got to look out for the bend up ahead. There's a fork in the road, so we really got to spend a little bit more money on that. Well, you know, we had the inaugural ceremonies in both New Bedford and Fall River. So Mayors Mitchell in New Bedford, Mayor Coogan taking over in Fall River. You know, Fall River, they had a few issues over there, Chuck.
Yeah.
You didn't spend a lot of time over there.
No, I didn't.
You're clear.
I'm clear.
Yeah, you're clear. Well, anyway, the mayors are taking over, and I noticed that during the inaugural ceremonies, a lot of big shots around.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of monumental Major League muckety-mucks, you know, making speech and all that. So I was wondering, was it the usual butt babble, they're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, or are they really doing something? No, I kid our politicians. I really think, I know most of them personally. I think they're working on the issues that confront our community. They're doing their best, and we wish them all the best here in the year 2020. Well, you know, Chops, there was actually a bird that we caught a picture of in Fall River. Let's take a look at this bird right here. I don't know if you saw this. Yeah, there's a bird right there. Kind of a serious-looking guy. Wait a minute. Hold it. That's not a bird. That's Bill Belichick at the last press conference.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Doesn't look too happy, does he? Oh, down the tubes he went.
Just like it.
Yeah, wasn't too happy. Now, you know that we have Chops here. He is a 49ers fan freak. And he comes in here with his big smile on his face because the 49ers won again and Jimmy Garoppolo and all that. So one more game and we're in the Super Bowl, right?
One game, we're in the Super Bowl. We're ready to go. Oh, yeah. I think they'll take it.
So the Super Bowl this year is actually down in Miami, right?
Miami, man. We should go down.
Well, you ever think about going down there?
Oh, yeah. I think about going down there.
A little road trip. The Paul Santos Show. We'll bring Josh with us. You know,
yeah, bring Josh with us, yeah.
They'll pay for the whole thing.
We'll take the Rude Boys. They can play
the Rude Boys will play. We'll have a little Chops on the side there. You know, Spent a little time at South Beach.
Yeah.
That could be dangerous, I think.
Very.
But you know, I'm kind of, you know, hey, Garoppolo, he was there with Brady all that time. I'm kind of rooting for him. He seems like a good guy. He almost looks like a young Brady.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
He's really, really
very
good.
great player.
What happened with Edelman there? He got a little carried away there. Josh Edelman he was jumping up and down on a car, right?
Yeah.
He didn't
play though.
He didn't have anything else to do. You said before. Yeah. Chops likes that. All right, so now where are you going to be over the weekend? You seem to be everywhere.
Saturday night we're going to be with the Disco Dream Band. They call it Disco Dream Band. A place called I forget the name of the place. Somewhere down in Hanson, Mass.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm looking forward.
What was that? The disco what?
Disco Dream Band.
Oh, say it loud.
Yeah. Disco group,
man.
70s.
They had little chops on me, mama. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stay alive. You know, I grew up. That was hot in the '70s. You know, we've interviewed Ralph Tavares and the whole. I actually saw KC and the Sunshine Band a couple of years ago.
I saw them, but
so they're good. You know, they're good. Because the Chop Sterner Band's right there. You know, the Chop Sterner Band right there. So hey, go 49ers.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Well, coming up, the Patriots, they'll be back next year.
They'll be back.
I think Brady's going to sign. That's what
he's coming back. You know he's coming back.
He's coming back?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Brady and Belichick, you never count him out. He's going to play till he's 45.
Yeah. He's a great player.
Pretty good.
Great player.
Got all that pliability and all that. Our first guest tonight is the community educator for Seven Hills to discuss the opioid crisis and substance use disorder in general. We welcome to our microphones Miss Z. Suarez. Hi, Z. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great to see you. Great to see you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having
Well,
me.
you know, Z, we're going to tackle a very serious subject, but before we get to that, I'm glad to see that you have a sense of humor. Because I'm kind of looking over there, I'm like, is Z laughing? If Z's laughing, then I know we're good.
You know, I have to laugh whenever, you know, anyone talks about the 49ers. You know, they're working off our coattails, you know, with Jimmy G. Right?
Wow.
So,
Looks like Z knows her stuff over here.
I'm a big Patriots fan.
Anytime you see Chops, you know, give him the business, all right? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm going to give you the business.
You know, once in 20 years, they come out of the woodwork and he's having a heart attack over the thing.
They deserve it.
They haven't been around since Montana, you know? So anyway, let's learn a little bit about you. I know you're from our great city of New Bedford, correct?
Yes, sir.
But originally, what, Azores?
Yes, sir. Terceira Azores was where I was born.
Right.
And came to New Bedford at the age of 5. Had all my schooling here and moved to the Cape, born specifically about 16 years ago.
Right. And you made name as Medeiros?
It is Medeiros.
Like I was asking about Suarez, and you're like,
Zelia
wait a minute, you're of
Medeiros.
Portuguese descent. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds more Spanish, right?
Right. My husband is half Puerto Rican, half Colombian.
You never know, we could be related, you know, the Santos and Medeiros, you know.
Clark Singh?
Yeah, I think
Yes, of course.
So obviously you've been in New Bedford your entire life, and what type of work did you do prior to what you're doing now?
I had a specialized associates as a paralegal. Most of the work that I've done, my career, has specifically been as a bodily injury claim rep. So I started out working at safety, at Arbella, then I went to safety, and from there I switched to what they call the other side. So doing bodily injury claims for Attorney Dane Schulman at the time.
Right.
That's been, you know, about the past 25 years what my career has consisted
So working
of.
for an attorney, of which I'm one, that's not the easiest thing, right?
I'm married to an attorney.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yes.
exactly, yeah, right. So how does that work out? So when there's an argument, you get cross-examination and all that? My wife shuts that down right away, you know.
Listen, my husband knows well enough not to argue with a Portuguese woman out there.
Now, tell me about your family. Is it 4 children that you had?
I had 4 children. My oldest is 32, and he has made a career in the Coast Guard and has done very well for himself. Has married a beautiful wife, has 2 beautiful children that I simply adore. And then I have a set of 16, almost 17-year-old twins, Michael and Mercedes. So boy-girl twins.
Right.
And then in between was my Ray Ray.
Right. Now, that oldest, did you say how old?
He is 32.
Oh, that can't, I don't know, you guys out there, that can't be right. She must have had, you had the first one at like 10 or something?
I was young. I was young.
You look too young to have a child.
I was pretty young.
That's a compliment, that's a compliment.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get into the serious stuff. Obviously, you went through a harrowing period in your life that will never change. Obviously, you'll have this with you for the remainder of your life.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, Ray had substance abuse disorder, and you lost him a few years ago. So tell me about how that all happened.
So, Ray, at a young age, we started to see some behaviors. He was in his teens. And at the time, I was doing foster care. And it was one of my foster children that had told me that he was using drugs. We started some counseling. You kind of, you're in denial a little bit. And it wasn't long after that one of them told me that he was using IV drugs, and I said, absolutely not. I would never have expected that. And then they went and they showed me, we have a finished basement where he kept under the ceiling tiles some needles.
Was this something that was a gradual progression? Because people don't usually start, obviously with the hard stuff like that.
Right. So for him, sadly, his gateway drugs were marijuana and alcohol. From there, it progressed what I thought was a really big problem was when he was doing the Perk 30s, which were pretty prevalent back then. But then to find out that, that IV drugs were an issue, that I was floored. You would never as a mother, I think you never expect that. So it was very painful, certainly not as painful as losing him. Right. But it was very difficult to face.
Can you even put into words, because people can only imagine?
So he was doing really well. We had sectioned him in January of 2016. He left care early. He was in for about 3 months, and he told me one day that he was going to leave, and I begged him to stay. He was at North Cottage, which is an excellent facility, and I begged him to stay. One of his friends went and picked him up, took him out, and I remember telling her that I would forever hold her responsible if he died. So I told him, unless you're going back to care, so I really held my bottom line, unless you're going back to care, I can't help you with anything. So he went and he stayed with his biological father in New Bedford, and I think about 2 weeks prior to his death, he called, and I remember telling my husband, something doesn't feel right. Right. Something doesn't sound right in his voice.
Right, and it's because of mother's intuition, you can tell. So obviously, our hearts go out to you. Only can imagine what that must be like. But on the other side of that, you decided to put what happened to work and get involved in a different career. Tell me about that.
So currently I work for Seven Hills. Seven Hills does a tremendous amount of work with the homeless and the addicted community, the behavioral side of Seven Hills. I can't be more proud than to say that I do this to honor my son. So we work with the still sick and suffering community to provide a ton of education, a ton of resources. We provide education in a group setting. We go to the jails. We do outreach every single day. So we're out in the community every day trying to reach people in encampments. We go to different businesses and try to give them Narcan and educate them on how to properly use it. Nowadays, it's just the nasal spray, very easy, one step. We provide a ton of resources for people who do want to go into treatment. So there's an awful lot that Seven Hills does that I just knew I needed to be a part of, not just to honor my son, but to help those that are still out there suffering.
What do you think the answer is in the long run? Is it more treatment? Is it more money for treatment centers? I mean, what is the answer, do you think?
Well, I think it's very complicated. I don't think there's any one specific answer to that question. We know that treatment fails about 90% of the time. Current treatment standards are not adequate. The insurance isn't paying for, it takes years. They go through years of being sick before they get help. 4 days of detox is not going to fix that, So although there are tons of different treatment centers out there, there's just a lot more of a complicated matter where it pertains to different people, different treatments. So a 12-step might work for one person where methadone works for another. Clean needles and safe sex practices. This is all what we do to try and educate this community that is suffering so tremendously.
It does seem like the drug companies really need to step up and take responsibility because, having doctors prescribe a lot of these painkillers and then people, I've had so many people that have gotten inadvertently addicted that I've seen in my practice. It's a very sad situation.
It is, and it's an enormous problem. And now that we're seeing some of those drug companies being held accountable, and some of the doctors holding some of that accountability, I think we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in how they prescribe. Emergency rooms don't give you pain medication anymore. So we are starting to see some changes. They're slow. It's not enough. Because when we think about the number of people that are dying every year, it's somewhere in the vicinity of we average about 72,000. So that's just a number. If you visualize that in terms of, say, Gillette Stadium, which holds about 75,000 people, we're losing every year about a stadium full of people, just under a stadium full of people. Mm-hmm. We have lost over 500,000 people in the past 10 years. Over 250,000 of them have died since 2015, where fentanyl became such a huge issue. These are the things that we need to fight and to grapple with, and there's no one simple solution because everyone's different.
Did you have anything in particular that you were looking to accomplish in the new year 2020?
Certainly. I have just started a nonprofit. It's called Ray Ray's Legacy, Inc., and one of the things that I'm working with Seven Hills on is a mobile shower. So I am looking at some meetings coming up wherein we're trying to get, some grant funding from South Coast to try and make this a reality. We're also going through Ray Ray's Legacy to apply to the Greater Boston Food Bank so that we can, better supply some nourishment to people who are really not thinking about eating. One of the things that I remember most when my son was alive was him saying to me that he felt like he was beneath most people, that even within the drug community, the IV druggers the IV drug users are considered the bottom of the barrel. And I'll never forget those words because they haunt me to this day. Trying to relieve some of that stigma, for me, one of the big ways is, one of the things that we do at Seven Hills, one of my big things is to try and feed everyone. Right. So whenever I'm there at one of our offices, I'm looking for different ways to just try and give them food to serve them because I want them to know, we know you're suffering, we know you're a human being, and we're here to meet you where you're at to provide whatever resources and needs we're able to provide within the means we're given.
Well, I know everyone is happy that you've taken, this very sad and very difficult chapter in your life and you've turned it into a positive to try to help other people. And that's really something that, you should be commended for. We wish you all the success in the world. Keep up the good work. Keep up your work in the community. And we really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you for having me. And don't forget, we got the Rude Boys coming up next over here. So
I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I got my cheering cap on, right?
All right, Z Suarez, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. All right, we have yet more terrific guests live in the studio. Yes, we have very talented musicians. We welcome from the NB Rude Boys is Scott Fitzgerald. We have Rick Rude, and from Funk Side Up, it is guitarist Chris Waters. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us, Paul. Thank you for having us.
You guys, man, you guys are looking pretty hot with those shades and everything,
Yeah, we got to compete with you.
That's right. I heard that Disco Dream stuff. I was.
Yeah. Can you do a little stay in the
I saw you dance. It was more like a disco nightmare.
Yeah, the Disco Nightmare. Yeah, that could be the new way.
I'm your boogeyman. Turn me out.
Now, Rick Rude, if you can slide a little bit closer to Fitzy over there, we want you. There you go. Now we want to.
I like getting close to Sean.
Yeah, you guys
sit on your lap.
You guys can chum up, and that we're looking for some. And that guy right there, Chris, he's in a different band, Funk Side Up. and I saw you guys. You know, I'm an old-time disco DJ, you know, back in the early,
Nice.
you
Wow, okay.
know, the old wiki with the Rick James and
Mixing and matching.
you know, the Run DMC and all that stuff.
Oh, I
So
love that stuff.
that's what people who have no talent do. They're DJs. Exactly.
Well, you fought for your right to party.
Yeah. So real quick, maybe Sean, I don't know if you're the spokesman, but when did you guys get together with the Rude Boys?
Sure.
and all
The
that?
Rude Boys, officially, we formed in April 2018.
All right.
And we're a number of musicians from local bands in the area that we've always wanted to get together and put some kind of project together. And we've always loved ska music, and the time was ripe for it, and here we are.
All right. Well, they have put together a great tune for us. They're going to kind of do a little bit of a double, 2 songs in one. They're going to jam with us. Do they still say that? Do
Yeah,
they still-
man.
Do they say, hey, man, we're going to do a
Yeah,
little
man.
jamming, a little jamming with us. To do a song from Sublime called What I Got, and along with Stir It Up, Little
sir.
Darling, Stir It Up. Yeah, we're going to do all that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the NB Rude Boys.
Thank you.
All right, let's do this. Yeah.
Early in the morning, rising to the street. Like myself, that's it today, and I'll tap shoes on my feet. Got to find the reason things went wrong. Got to find the reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian, I can still get by. I can play that guitar like Paul Santos on fire.
Yeah.
Life is too short, so love the one you got, 'cause you might get run over or you might get shot. Never start no static, I just get it on my chest. Never had to battle with no bulletproof vest. Take a small example, teach it from me. Take all of your trouble, give it all to charity. Love's what I got within my reach, and the sublime style still straight from Long Beach. Comes down to you, you're bound to get what you deserve. Try and test that, bound to get served. Love's what I got, don't start a riot. Feel it when the dance gets hot, hot. Loving is what I got. Said remember that. Loving is what I got. Said remember that. Loving is what I got. Said remember that. Loving is what I got. I got time.
Yeah.
Steer it up, little darling, steer it up. Come on, baby. Come on and steer it up, little darling, steer it up. Oh, oh, oh. It's been a long, long time since I got you on my mind. Now that you're here, I say it's so clear. See what we can do, baby. Just me and you. Come on and steer it up, little darling, steer it up. Come on, baby. Come on and steer it up. Ooh yeah, little darling, steer it up. Oh oh oh. NB Rude Boys, this Friday, January 17th at the Greasy Luck Vault Room. Rick Rude, Sean Fitz, Nestor McIntosh, Paul Santos Live. We want to thank you all. Hit, hit, hit,
Hey.
steer it up,
Yeah.
little darling, steer it up. Come on and steer it up.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm so jealous to see Chops as a singer too. I'm jealous of singers because you guys just have so much fun over there. You know, you guys are just doing. I have an idea. We're just gonna make this up. Chops, come over here for a second. Garrett,
Should have been rocking this.
get on your knee over there. Get behind those guys right there. Can you just do the last 30 seconds of that song? All of us are gonna do it. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, here we go. Stir it up.
Here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Stir it up.
Yeah. Oh.
Little darling, stir it up.
Oh yeah, mama. Oh. Yeah.
Come on and stir it up. Ooh,
I'm
yeah,
feeling
ooh,
it.
yeah.
Oh.
Little darling, stir it up.
Oh.
Come on, baby. Come on and stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Come on and stir it up. Stir it up, yeah. Little darling, stir it up. Come on and stir it up.
Boomba. All right. How about that? All right. Thank you, Chops. All right. Thanks a lot, Chops. I was just like threw Chops right in there. That was great. Oh, give him the tambourine back. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the thing I like about watching you guys and a lot of musicians too is I know you're enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
I know you have a great time on stage. They always say the hard part is setting up and then taking everything down. But then once you're on stage, the light goes off and you have a great time, right?
Yeah, in a zone. I mean, we're fortunate that we're able to do what, many people would love to be able to do.
Yeah.
And we can't take that for granted, Every performance should give it your all, because you never know.
Well, what is it like for you to be up there and you're looking out in the audience and you're connecting, people are like, oh yeah, and they're grooving and there's like a connection between you and the audience, right?
Yeah, it is, it's the closest thing to intercourse without actually doing the act.
Wow, it's that good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, when you got to come to an MB Rude Boy show and you know what I'm talking about, baby.
That's it.
Wow, that's pretty
I got
good.
my
That's pretty
G-string on
good.
my bass, I'm ready to go.
I'll be in the green room.
Yeah, you'll have the Oscar Mayer Weeder back there.
Yeah, where's the Shanice?
Where can I apply for that?
Here's the shitties, anyway. So Chris, you're with Funk Side Up,
Funk
right?
Side Up, yes.
So tell me about that band, because I saw you guys, and I love that style of music
Yeah,
too,
I was actually asked to be in that band. They already existed.
Oh, yeah?
Dan Lomba, the bass player, is also in a band that I'm in, jamming, a tribute to Bob Marley. And I went and saw the band. They're amazing players. Amos Sanfilippo on guitar, John Malini on drums, and Marnie Hughes. She's an amazing vocalist. So I couldn't say no.
Yeah,
I wanted
fantastic.
to, but I couldn't. Because they're so good. They're great people. I just couldn't resist it.
Sometimes you just got to say yes.
Yes.
You got to say yes.
Yes.
So now you guys with the NB Rude Boys, plans for this year? It seems like you guys are growing. Your following is growing.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We've got a good following. We're really working on our craft and our product every day. Our album right now, we're almost done. We're hoping to have that released by April.
That's right.
Yeah, and we've got a few surprises, a couple of big shows for the summer. We're really looking forward to collaborating with a national act. That's something that's in the works that will be premiering somewhere in the city of New Bedford. So please be on the lookout for that.
I was telling you guys beforehand, I really like that original song, Duck and Cover.
Duck and Cover. You
Duck
like
and
that, huh?
Cover.
Nice.
We might have to call you up for.
Yeah.
I think we should.
I don't want to ruin it, you know what I
we
mean?
should.
But
No.
so hey, it looks like you guys got a lot of fun stuff happening. And by the way, we did a piece on you, a video. I enjoyed it. It was so much fun. It's up on Paul Santos Live, the Facebook page. So if you scroll back, you'll be able to see the piece I did on them. It was like 6-7 minutes, all kinds of different music. And it's also on your Bedford Guys page. So if you're interested in the Rude Boys, go back and check that out because I had a lot of fun putting that together.
thank you so
guys
much
were-
for putting that together.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was a
it's
lot of
superb.
fun.
Yeah,
It was a
promo.
lot of
Thank you.
fun. Yeah, thank you.
And maybe when we go in the studio for Duck and Cover, I was thinking maybe we could do a little rearrangement, call it Puck and Cover, and we can use that on your hockey.
Yeah, play-by-play. I do a little hockey play-by-play.
Puck and Cover.
Yeah, puck and cover. That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Anytime a goalie makes a save.
Puck and cover. Tie it up for a face-off. Very good. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. Really
thank you for having
appreciate it.
us. Thank you,
Thank you
Paul.
very much. All right,
Thank you,
so we
Mr.
got
Souza, for having us.
Sean, Rick, and Chris here joining us on New Bedford Guide and Paul Santos Show. Okay, let's see. We got a couple of pictures here. We got the New Bedford area picture of the week. We have a picture of the week from New Bedford area, picture of the week for Fall River area. Well, this one is an aerial shot of beautiful Padenera. We take this for granted. We're living in the New England area, and we have all these great pictures that people take. Well, there is the beautiful Padenera Harbor right over there in Dartmouth. This was sent in by a gentleman by the name of Michael Morris. So there's a great shot Of course, it looks a lot better in July than it does in January, but that's okay. We'll take it. That's beautiful, Padenera. And the Fall River area picture of the week. Take a look at this right here. The old Braga Bridge. Look at that. Doesn't that thing look beautiful? Ah, yes, the old Braga Bridge, baby. Sometimes you look at that and you're like, okay, all right, it's okay. But look at that. It just looks beautiful. You see Somerset in the background. It was taken by Kyle Rays. So there you have it, the Braga Bridge, one of our pictures of the week. Well, you know, we have this hometown hero feature that we have here on New Bedford Guide. That's right. People send in their pictures of family members that are in the military. Well, we have one coming up in just a moment. A young kid by the name of Jamie Rogers Jr. Now, a lot of people, they have sons, they have daughters, they have husbands, they're in the military, fighting for our country. We always take a moment to tip our cap out to them. Well, this gentleman graduated from basic training on December the 5th. He's now airborne school, and he graduated from Bedford Voc Tech in 2019. This was sent in by Megan Souza. Now, if you have a hometown hero that you want to send to us, just email it to mike@newbedfordguide.com. That's mike@newbedfordguide.com. Of course, Chops, the sidekick of the century. We keep giving you like bigger and bigger titles as we go along. All right, so next week, right, it's Jimmy Garoppolo for San Francisco versus Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, and the winner goes to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl,
baby.
is that?
So what do you think? You think you got that one?
They look good. The defense coming to play. We should win it.
And Chops was a football player at one time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you the assassin? Yeah, I think he was.
The Terminator.
Don't get fooled by all this laughing. And this guy was like, he was like a killer out there.
Defensive back.
Yeah, so I'm watching the football this weekend. There were 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, "Are you going to watch football like all day and all night?" I'm like, for 2 days in a row. I'm like, well, this is the last week. Next week is just Sunday.
Right.
Then there's a week off, and then there's a Super Bowl, and that's the end of it. And then next year the Patriots will be. It's weird not having the Patriots in
I
there,
know, it does seem kind of funny.
doesn't it? You know, the Patriots are in every year. You know, and then all of a
They
sudden
seem
this
like
year,
the team to beat.
yeah, every year the Patriots are there. Then all of a sudden this year it's like the 49ers. What the hell? What the hell did that come from? They haven't been around here in 20 years. They haven't been there since Joe Montana.
Montana is right.
You know, it's too bad. The Patriots should have kept Garoppolo. He could have been
That's
playing.
right. That's right.
That's what Belichick wanted to do. But
Right.
hey, Tom, he wouldn't quit.
That's right.
He wouldn't quit.
They should have kept him.
All right, so Saturday night, where are you going to be with the band there, the Disco?
Disco Dream Band. We're going to be down near Hanson, Mass.
Disco Dream.
Yeah, Disco
so,
Dream.
So what are like some of the songs that you play, like off the top of your head?
Disco stuff like the Tavares.
Oh, good.
Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel.
All right.
Barry White. That kind
Yeah.
of stuff. What's the name of the other group? Lots of groups.
You do It Only Takes a Minute, Girl, you know, the Tavares?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It only takes a
Yeah.
minute, girl, to fall in love. Let's fall
Oh,
in
yeah.
love. I need a little work, but that's all right. But I see you guys singing. I'm like, this looks like so
Get
much
the Rude
fun.
Boys to play that.
Yeah. The Rude Boys got Tavares. Yeah, that'd be interesting if they do it in the ska style, you know. Anyway, we had a great show tonight. We really want to thank all of our guests. Z Suarez
fantastic.
from Seven Hills on the subject of the opioid crisis, and to music guests Sean Fitzgerald, Rick Rude, and they're from New Bedford, Rude Boys, and guitarist from Funk Side Up, as opposed to Funk Side Down. No, Funk Side Up. Funk Side Up. Funk Side Up. It's like Sunny Side Up. Chris Waters. Now, next week we're off, as I said. We're going to take a breather. And then in 2 weeks, we have the Teacher of the Year in 2019, a gentleman by the name of Takeru Nagaoski. And he's one of those guys, I don't know, some people can get through to the kids. I mean, I would be eaten alive, and but he has a knack, and he was Teacher of the Year. We also want to thank Josh Souza, our producer-director. Still on the air, Josh. Still on the air.
Yeah, Josh.
And,
Josh the man. Josh the man.
And, of course, all of our sponsors. And our thanks to Chops, the sidekick extraordinaire. I'm Paul Santos. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. And from all of us here, have a great night.
Yeah.